I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon.
Oh my god, guys, look at that fucking
face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card never change. Play the game.
big old striker, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Big old girl from Pops.
You the man with the bridge shit, man. I can tell you that.
Look at that big one, guys.
That's a freaking hog, dude. Get up here.
Woo, baby. Look at that tank.
What's going on, guys? Bassin' It Up Mafia here, coming at you with a new video for this week. In this week's video, I figured I will break down jig fishing for you. Jig's one of my favorite lures to throw all times of the year, so I'm just going to break down jigs for you. And a bunch of different types, some trailers for them, the rod setups and reels and line that I like to throw them on, all that. So, hope you guys enjoy this one. First, let's start off with setups here. So first I got the 7.3 medium heavy action Enigma Titanium Series Phenom with a 7.3-to-1 Phenom reel, both by Enigma Fishing. Love this rod, absolutely love it. Super sensitive, can feel every little thing I drag across on the bottom on it. So love this, especially for jigs. It's perfect. Has a perfect, nice little soft tip to it, so I can feel that nice, light and easy bite if they're gonna bite it real light and easy. And it's got a tremendously nice backbone for really driving that hook in there. So really helps me get the fish. And then I got a little Jackal tungsten jig on there with a Yum Money Crawl. This is for like when I like to use a little bit smaller presentation, have something a little bit bright, and then if we're in a little bit dirtier water, sometimes that really works. Even works good in clear water too, especially when they're feeding on bluegills and stuff. That chartreuse or that bright green kind of looks like a bluegill. So for the next setup that I like throwing my jigs on, I got an Enigma HPT series rod with an Enigma Ipon reel in an 8-1-to-1. I like throwing this with my bigger jigs, some of my heavier jigs, and anything that I really want to crank the fish out fast with, or like if I'm fishing around grass with a lot of these jigs, so I can get that fish up fast and quick without having to possibly lose him getting stuck in the grass, or him getting some leverage or extra leverage to get off in that grass. Perfect rod for that, and throwing my heavier jigs and being around the grass and everything like that. Got a nice stiff backbone and a nice soft tip. Both of these rods I have 17-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon on. Seaguar is my favorite line out there. I've used pretty much about everything on the market, and Seaguar is what I've found I've had the best luck with. Pound for pound, breaks at its right strength, unlike some of these other companies, and very rarely have lost fish on it. Most of the time, if I have lost a fish on it, it's because of something stupid that I've done, like not retying or paying attention to my line enough, or tie a bad knot or anything like that. Most of the time it does not break on a fish. But let's get into some of these jigs now. So first we'll start out with the little guys, and this is a little finesse jig. This is just a little jewel finesse jig, I believe, and I got a little Paul Crew Custom Baits crawl on the back of that. This is a good color, real good color for early in the year. I like using stuff with red for early spring. With all the crawls being out, that's a real good start color with them, because the crawls are usually a lot brighter red this time of year, or that time of year. And this one also has a horizontal line tie, which not as many people maybe talk about this too much, but the eyelet of your jig actually kind of defines where you should fish it at. So a horizontal line tie like this, you're better off in like cover and around rocks and trees and stuff like that. If you fish this around the grass, it tends to get hung up more because of the way it's being drugged through the water. And then we got little Strike King Bitsy Bug with a little double tail grub on the back of it. This is a little zipper grub, double tail grub, and that's in the blue crawl color. Another one of my favorite colors for over the summer, and when the fish are, I mean not the fish, when the crawfish are starting to molt, they start changing this color around here. So this is a real good color for around the summer times of the year, and especially if you want to use a little bit smaller pattern, or the bait's a little bit smaller that time of year. So you'll go with a little bit smaller jig like the little bitsy bug. And that, how you can see, that has a vertical line tie, which means this one would be a lot better for coming through the grass and getting drug around the grass. Doesn't get hung up quite as easy in it and all that. So that would be the kind of jig to use around grass. Not heavy grass though. And then next we got a football jig. That of course has a horizontal line tie. So it's real good to fish around cover, big rocks, stuff like that. Now if we compared these two together, they both got the horizontal line tie, but if you fish big old heavy head on the jig like this one does compared to this little guy, this one's going to be a lot better for big rock cover, big chunk rock, anything like that. This one's going to be a lot better for smaller rock cover, just because this small little head on it will get caught up in those rocks, in the little crevices in the rocks, a lot quicker and a lot easier. At least this one's got a big head, so, and a big old football head, so it can get drug around in them a little bit better without getting caught up quite as much. Not saying you're not gonna get caught, because the jig in rocks, it's bound to happen eventually. But these little football jigs, they're perfect for cover, heavy cover, as long as it's not grass. You don't want to fish these in grass, mostly because it gets too much grass hung up on it. Don't matter how heavy you got or anything, it's just hits too much grass piled up on it. But it's great for being around trees and heavier riprap and stuff like that, or if you're flipping in just heavier cover. Great little bait for a football jig. Next we got a swim jig. I got two style swim jigs here. I got a Mega Bass one, and this one's got the spinner blade on it. And then I have a Bass Assassin swim bait on the back of that, like that little jig. And then I also have a Dirty Jig swim jig with a Guggen electric shad swim bait on the back of that. And that one's just a little bit of white with a little bit of a blue back. Really mimics the shad around here pretty good. And as you'll notice, both of these swim jigs have vertical line ties. That's so that you can pull them around the grass real nice and easy, pull them through open water real nice and easy, and also so they can come through the grass real nice and easy. Except this one, bad thing about this one with the spinner blade, they don't get pulled through the grass quite as well because of having that big spinner blade come out on the bottom. That sometimes gets hung up. So one with the spinner blade really isn't typically one you really want to use around heavier grass. You can maybe use it on the outside edges and stuff, but not so good for heavier grass or actually fishing in it. The Dirty Jigs one, you can probably fish a little bit better in it. And then last but not least, we have one of my personal favorite jigs. This is Grass Rock Timber Jigs, GRT Jigs. Got two different colors here. We got one that I named called Blue Bama Crawl. I named this color for them. These are great little jigs. These have a special patent because of this head here. Let's see if hopefully you can see that pretty good. This head here is his own little special patent and design. It's made for coming through all types of heavy cover. Like it says, grass, rocks, and timber. And with this special head and the way the line tie is, this is a vertical line tie, so it comes through the grass a lot better, and it's got a football shaped head, so it'll also come through the heavy rocks a lot better, and like heavy cover like trees and all that as well. But these guys are awesome. They're the bomb. And if you want, you got to go check them out at GRT Jigs Facebook page or www.grtjigs.com. So check them out. And now we're going to get into some of my favorite trailers, at least my personal favorite trailers. I got the Jordan Lee series, the Champ Crawls. And this is HD Mean Crawl color. Started using these a good bit last year and caught a lot of really big fish on them. So definitely one of my favorites. And these bad boys, since they don't have much action to them, they just look real good like a crawl. These are perfect for early in the season and when the water's colder. They don't really want a trailer with a lot of action when the water's colder. So these guys are perfect for that time of year. Then we got another old faithful. This is my Strike King Rage Crawls. These are just straight Alabama crawl color, and these have a lot of action in the water. They really, really kick. The whole way down, they're fluttering like this, and the whole way you're dragging, they're fluttering like this. And it creates so much action in the water, and a lot of times if you do your rate of fall right, you can actually get bit most of the time on the fall instead of having to do the retrieve or anything like that. Depends on the time of year though for that, because sometimes they want a real slow fall, sometimes they like a little bit faster fall and they react to that a little bit better. Just depends on the time of year. And then swim jigs, of course, mostly all my swim jigs, I throw little swim baits on the back. I don't typically do too much else crazy with swim jigs, just a little swim bait on the back. It always seems to work real good. But those are some of my favorite trailers. And what I like to do, we'll throw in some jigs, and we'll show you a few clips of a couple nice big bass that we caught on the jigs and some of these jigs that we got sitting here. So let's get into that right now. There we go, guys. It's about time. Finally hooked into something on the freaking jig.
Jigger.
Man, I hooked him really freaking weird. There we go, guys. About a 2.5, 3, something like that, probably. Decent guy, though. Look at him, guys. Check him out. Gorgeous fish. Just let him go. He's really yellow for like out here. Usually they're like bright color out here.
Definitely was pink shower.
There's a lot of fish down there, it looks like. Got one. Got one. Big one. Big one.
That's a good one.
That is a tank, guys. That is a freaking tank. Off the big old jig. Look at that freaking tank. Look at that fish, guys. Whew. Look at that big old pig. Where's my scale? Where's my scale? Let's weigh him.
I say 5'2".
Yeah, he's probably 5 something.
5 1/4. Yeah, no, there's a guy out there.
$5.14, guys. 5 pounds, 14 ounces. That's a toad.
Almost 6.
Damn near 6. 2 ounces away from being a 6-pounder. That's a good one. We needed him in the tournament. Look at that fat belly on him.
That was a good one too. What the hell happened here?
There's one. There's one.
There you go. I think so. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, it is. That's a really good one. That's what we want. Woo, baby, look at that fish, guys. That is what we came for. Didn't catch many tonight, but we got a big girl. Check her out. Shoo, man. That is a nice one. Off that jig. Let's put this big old girl back, guys. Look at that. Look at that big old fish. Let's watch her jump. There she goes. Well guys, that's going to conclude this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. This week is going to be the second to last week to enter that little giveaway after 600 subscribers. As soon as we get to 600, I'm cutting it off. But to enter this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to my channel, you like video, and you have to comment on one of the videos that I have. If you already commented, you're going to be entered anyway. But if you don't have a comment on on any of my videos, make sure you do that. That's one of the ways that you can get entered into the giveaway, and make sure you do that if you want to be entered in it. The giveaway is going to be for a little fishing trip with me on one of the lakes around here of your choice. So make sure you do that if you want to win one. And either way guys, stay tuned until next Thursday. We'll see you next Thursday.